quick little banter for the actual podcast itself. Go.
Penis.
Vagina.
Why?
Boobies.
You guys are awful.
Tater tots.
Nipples. Areolas. Clitoris.
Dynamite areolas.
Sphincter. 60% of the time, it works all the time.
And good morning, good evening, good night for everybody out there in... I was going to say Garahola.
Dynamite, welcome to the podcast. Yes, I'm Australian today.
Why? Why Australian?
Because he panicked.
You didn't know...
I don't know enough. I don't know enough slang and lingo to keep that on for long. Well, but I have more racially divisive, stereotypical voices.
Can we not? That'd be great. You keep that for the personal times.
Boy, I say, boy, you do not know a lick of what's going on.
I do not. You are absolutely right. But welcome everybody to another episode of the Knights of the Kitchen Table. I just had to stop you there because you're just going to get so worse.
I was actually going to say, and with that.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
He was going to start.
I was actually going to start, so.
Anyway, so we're here for another episode, and today's episode is going actually to be one of that actually hits everyone in that,
in nostalgia,
in the feels, because it has to do with video games.
Video games?
In the video games. The video games. So, to let the elephant out of the room, or whatever the term is.
Address the elephant in the room.
Address the elephant in the room.
We're going to let him out. We're going to let him
out.
He's gone.
So, clearly, we don't have the normal cast here today. Unfortunately, our good friend Johanny
has become a girl.
No, he's making that
No,
bread.
that's from Snapchat.
He's a beautiful woman, though.
He is making that moolah. He's making the money. You know,
he's getting that bread.
His knees are gonna get really hurt afterwards, but you gotta do what you gotta do for that bread. I had to make that joke. Come on.
I already said it though.
Thursday night.
All right.
Turn up on a Thursday.
So unfortunately,
job.
He's not here today. But instead of Jen being like behind the scenes, Jen's actually gonna be here today. So I'll say hi to Jen.
Hi.
That
Wow.
was so
anticlimactic.
That was so anticlimactic. I want my money back.
You know, we have a script and everything, and I'm going completely like off script too.
Out.
So I'm just. Anyways, I am your host, the Nerdy Steve.
You're. I do not know how to speak. Sorry, it's been a long day. I am your other host, co-host, prime host, host prime.
Yes, Optimus Prime.
No, I just like host prime.
Okay, you're host prime.
I'm host prime. Well, we're hosting this.
And who are you? You're just host prime?
I am host prime now. Fear my power to host primely.
So your name?
Sparrow, also better known as Esteban, as my actual name, or my nickname, which some people call me by, is his actual name, so it gets confusing.
Starrun. Yes,
Starrun. Well, I spell it with a PH.
Because you're dumb.
I spelled the old English way, and that's not my fault. That's how it was introduced to me by an Irish-Italian family.
And they're wrong.
You take that back. I respect those people very much.
I can respect them too, but they're still wrong.
I've never liked it with the PH.
No one likes it. And also, we're here with
Jen.
Jenna Marie.
You're
1106.
I'm here as Jen.
You're here as Jen.
Oh wait, is that a 6 or a 5? No, yeah, it's a 6.
I am behind the scenes.
A 6.
I'm Ghost Voice.
That's why we're getting you a Gen Cam.
Ghost Boys.
And we're just gonna
like
flip
the cat
to
cam. I'm just gonna sit in a ball with my eyes closed half the time.
I've been looking into that multi-cam streaming, so we can just push a button and then it just points to you real quick.
Just every once in a while.
In the future.
In the future, maybe for our anniversary episode of 25 for a year.
So 2 years.
Yeah, right.
If we can pull off a year, then
if we can pull off a year, but that's also
and that means we've gotten together
every other week. That's 26 episodes.
About 25 to 26 episodes.
That we have to do. I still have to actually upload the one before this. Anyways, so for you guys, if you guys want to ever contact us, our Twitter is also down below. But for those who are hearing this in the post, whatever it is,
to those in the YouTube scape who are listening to the podcast in audio, the audio cast.
Thank you. And I couldn't think of it in audio form. You can hit me up at NerdySteve007.
The Nerdy Sparrow, all one word. Poppy Flay, which is not here, so why am I pointing?
The Poppy Flay.
The Poppy Flay, ThePapaflay. That's what's that looking.
Yes.
And then finally,
I can't spell.
What is it? Jenna Marie 1106?
Yes.
I don't remember what I made it up.
GENNAMARIE. I said G-J. It's a J.
G-J.
It's not
Jenny.
It's not Genna.
Jenny!
And this is going to be the first week that we're going to implement the live feed over on Twitter as well. So if you guys want to tweet at us at #KOKTcast, that's cast. Yes, that's why I
wanted it. Yes, because it's just, get cocked.
Because it's dirty.
Because it's dirty and we are still not clean. But
we get cocked bi-weekly.
#KOKTcast over on Twitter. We're going to be using that as well over the course of the next hour and a half or so, because we're actually going to read a couple of the tweets live on our podcast, because English is my main language and I don't know. Actually, English is not my main language. I'm Spanish.
We're reading tweets?
Yes, we're reading tweets.
We have to do them in fancy voices.
I am so down for that.
Okay,
so I did have a script because
It's not even a script. It's at best.
It's an outline.
It's a history.
It's not even an outline.
It is an outline. It gives us a general consensus of what's gonna happen.
Best case scenario, they're a little. Oh, fuck, what was the word? It's the dots.
Okay, time out real quick. Time out, because right now this is live and Magic, you suck. All right, I'm just gonna say that. He said that he feels like he knows more Spanish than me. He might be right about that, but it's still gonna
Spanish
suck.
off.
Uno.
Well, that would have to be on stream.
True.
Where he can audibly speak back to him. And he can ask,
He can type it.
biblioteca?
It's alright, because...
¿A dónde está la biblioteca, Esteban?
Outside the stomach.
Oh my god. This is one of my best friends.
But
you're lucky you're pretty.
That is so true. I am fabulous. Anyways, okay. So, we're going to...
Actually, yeah, I probably feel like Magic does know more Spanish than you, because I've never really heard you speak Spanish.
Oh, no, he knows a lot of Spanish.
Oh. I don't speak Spanish, at all. That's, when my stutter comes really bad, because I'm trying to actually translate in my head, and it doesn't work out well.
We're going to do this off stream. And I'll record it on Snapchat, so y'all can catch it.
Blame Magic for that one. Blame Magic for that one.
Anyway, Alexa, play Despacito.
Oh my god, it's gonna...
I will never get tired of that.
Okay, Google.
No, I was watching some YouTubers and they would do that, and they were because they would, put their Twitch stream onto YouTube. Yeah. And they were like, oh crap, someone tweeted at me that I actually activated their Alexa.
Oh my god. See, that's what happened to us. Okay,
that's why none of us have Alexa, because we're poor.
So the topic of today is going to be video games and how it interacted with our lives and blah, blah, blah. But
the importance, significance, and impact of video games in our 20-plus years of existing on the planet of Earth.
See? He's a smart one. I'm just here.
I was going to be an English major.
Why?
I don't know.
To fit in.
I was going to be a teacher.
That was my last thing I was going to... I was actually studying for that, and I stopped.
But then me starting to grow up, and then he's starting to see how we grew up. I'm like, we were brats. Now they're worse.
Oh, yeah, they're terrible. Actually, no. K through 3 are not terrible. I've dealt with them.
They're terrible.
But once you hit middle school, high school, I just want to punch them. I've been tempted to punch children in the...
Don't punch children.
Yeah, no, don't punch children. I'm not going to lie. It's frustrating. But that's not the point of this podcast. The point of the podcast, we're talking about video games.
Being a child, we grew up playing all
different... Bitch, the fuck did I just say?
That's what I'm saying. Being a child, we grew up playing so many different games.
No, we didn't, because I was poor.
I still did. I still had...
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I went to my cousin's house in New York and New Jersey. That would be our, big family vacation. We just go visit family, because we were...
I played whatever my dad bought.
Your dad was so cool. He is still cool.
Anyways,
current dad.
But you...
How's that? No comment.
But you used to play a whole different type of actually, you used to play different kind of games.
Dad played racing games and shooter games, so I grew up playing those. It's kind of weird, but a 7-year-old should not be allowed to play Grand Theft Auto by themselves.
Yeah, but they do that now.
There was an entire day that I just spent in the strip club because I thought it was funny that the girls would dance for me.
Dance, puppet dance.
Like literally,
yes.
like you shouldn't. They didn't care. They really didn't care. Dad would just be like, all right, fine, whatever. Just play it on your PlayStation, not mine.
But did they at least teach you that there's a time and place for everything?
Well, yeah.
Then that's all.
There you go. You learn from video games.
But it was just the simple fact that like there was no worry about ratings.
No.
Yeah, I know.
They would just.
Then again,
play
it was also the cornerstone of like video games was during our like era where it now started to become more and more popular.
No.
Because I think it was like in the early 80s or like 80s or 90s is when they first started to come up with more and more games. No. And then they started to be like, oh, this is actually starting to pick up.
Yeah. Because video gaming as a media as a whole has gained traction via the fact that it's become more, mainstream and popularized and acceptable because that as a society as a whole we've become more tolerant of things and we realize life sucks and we all need an escape. Like you can have the best life, speaking from social standing or financial standing, but there's gonna be days where you just want to get away from everything and forget who you are, what you're doing, what you're dealing with.
Who am I?
Calm down, Jackie Chan.
I am Trogdor, the Burninator.
No, I was referring to the movie Who Am I by Jackie Chan back in the 1970s.
I haven't watched that. That's on the list.
Yeah, it's a hilarious movie. There's a scene where he like fucking grabs the guy by his earring, spins up around and rips the earring out.
That sounds like
ridiculous. Fun. It's ridiculous.
Not really.
Yeah, no. The plot is pretty simple. Jackie Chan forgets who he is. He goes by Who Am I because he's picked up by an indigenous tribe. He comes back to the big city and gets into a fight like always.
So
what if Jackie Chan is Goku and he just finds problems?
He really is Goku. Well, he's kind of Goku. Period.
Sidebar over.
There was one movie that Jackie Chan that you made me watch that was really good, where he literally like
the Rumble in the Bronx.
Oh,
yeah,
so good.
Rumble in the Bronx.
But then like they show you the end credits and everything, and it's just him in a fucking cast.
Yeah, because he broke his foot.
All of this fucking like crazy shit.
Yo, the Chan man is unstoppable.
Like
100%. He's so good.
One more thing. We got to get on topic.
One more thing to get back on topic. Okay. For the video games, we actually want to use this this hashtag. So we're actually going to do for this podcast and many others a top 5 of our favorite video games in no particular order. But if you guys want to leave your top 5
or mention it right now,
well, actually tweet at us in hashtag KOKTcast. And with your top 5, top 4, whichever is your favorites of the video games, and also later on in the show we'll be reading off some of the ones that were mentioned
and maybe if it catches your attention enough, you'll play it on stream.
Maybe, yeah.
We gotta rate them in fancy voices.
True.
Indubitably.
So yeah, I'm totally down for this. But so for the top 5, we actually wanted to start off with you because we haven't like that on script and also like that on the screen, so it helps me out a lot. Wait, wrong screen. There you go. So number one.
To be mentioned.
This is also in no particular order. So number 5.
To be number 5 in my list of top 5 games / franchises.
Mine are not in order.
Would be
none of this in order.
Well, honestly, the franchise would be Metroid. Like, the whole franchise has honestly been amazing and great for me. I love sci-fi. I love fantasy. I love really weird things, and Metroid kind of hits all of those. The fact that for some people, Samus is a woman is like, oh, how would you? I don't care. She's a silent protagonist like Link. She's meant to be a stand-in for you. So you get to experience this whole world, this whole thing. And it's awesome because you get to be this badass bounty hunter with ridiculous weapons. And it's awesome. Like, how could you not like it? Like, if you've ever played any sci-fi game, that's what you want, that power fantasy. And I feel like it fits it perfectly for me.
I've never played it.
See, I never played it. But they actually added the very first Metroid on the Nintendo Switch,
those are very rough plays.
Those are very hard to even.
They're not forgiving. They do not hold your hand at all. They're like, hey, here's this world. Have fun.
And like literally, like you, like in the very first level, you're literally just dropped like in the middle of it, and like, okay, try to get by. I'm like, well, you kind of have to go like.
You gotta go left, get the morph ball, then.
Like in the morph ball, I'm like, okay, this is cool. You can roll around, and then like you literally cannot get touched at all.
No, you die almost instantly.
It's ridiculous. But like the whole the Metroid Prime also got mentioned about a year ago. That they were gonna have like a new one.
Yeah, Metroid Prime 4, which was delayed because what they were working with at the time was honestly unacceptable for them. They're like, for the quality that the fans expect for this franchise, what we currently have, we feel does not meet expectation. And I forgot which one of the Nintendo employees or people said it. A delayed game will eventually be good, but a rushed game will always not. Will never be good.
True.
Oh yeah.
Like, perfect example. Look at Mass Effect. Anything that BioWare has done, honestly, under EA recently. Anthem, Mass Effect Andromeda. Those two games.
I can see that, yeah.
Battlefield 5, which was from another,
Yeah. And
Battlefront. Like, all those were rushed. They were meant to be a cash grab. There was no passion, no drive, no vision. And look what happened. They flopped big time. And everyone says that those games needed more time in the oven.
And there's times that like they're like for me growing up, a lot of people have played Prime like growing up.
Oh
like,
yeah,
when the
Prime
GameCube came out, and I'm just like I never actually got it like into it because I honestly like never had the game and never grabbed my like interest. And then the very first time that I've heard of Samus was in Smash.
Yeah.
And so literally I'm like,
I will tell you.
Cool.
I'll tell you exactly where I started playing was during the Game Boy Advance era. Metroid Fusion was the game I first played. It was at a Walmart at those old stands that they had back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Where you could try out video games. That's where I remember playing Metroid. And after that, in middle school, I looked for friends who had the game and I played it in there. Because you had 3 different save files and I played it. And yeah. I remember my mom got me a Game Boy Advance towards the end of middle school because by that time it was falling out of style. The Game Boy Advance SP and the DS were coming out, so it was cheap.
Yeah,
and I remember saving a couple pennies and I bought a used copy of Metroid Fusion. Never beat the game, never beat it until a couple years ago where I played it on an emulator and I beat the whole game in like one sitting. See, like oh yeah, because I remembered so much. I couldn't get past certain parts because I could. Yeah, no, I beat it in one sitting.
So, one of the things like I wanted to get across in these like top 5 is what type of game these were, and while making the list of like looking up like what type of games there were and everything, there seemed to be a pattern on how we like pick games.
Yeah.
And like you guys like will be able to see later on as we keep on going like through the list. But
you'll see the pattern of like what we would choose for ourselves and our interests.
It's kind of funny because like I started to look at our top 5 over and over again, and I'm just like, makes sense where I like how I am, how my top 5 came out, and how like each of us are, and like how we kind of like reflect on the type of games that we have played. Because for me, like my number 5 air quotes would have to be the whole like Kingdom Hearts like
franchise,
like the whole franchise.
I'm so glad they finally came out with the 3rd game.
Oh, dude.
Halfway through your life, I can't wait for the other 3 games to come out when you're dead.
Yeah,
dude.
It's great.
So how's the Prime 4 coming along? Shut up. Exactly.
They've had more spin-offs and other things that are actually relevant compared to Kingdom Hearts.
All the spin-offs are part of this. All these spin-off games are part of the actual story.
Yes. Tell me how 2.5 Remix, Remastered, Reimagined adds to the story.
Excuse me, this is not about who's better than who.
Oh no, I just don't care for the Kingdom Hearts.
I like.
It was a sunny day today. It was a sunny day today. I felt we needed some shade.
So anyways, like the whole like Kingdom Hearts series, like.
No, yeah, I understand
like, for me, it grabbed me as a kid, especially when I didn't know much of becoming into this mainland of the United States of America.
Freedom.
No, but like I remember starting to play this game in middle school. In like
I see a lot of threads
late middle school.
Playing in middle school.
In late middle school, early high school, I played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and the way that they told the story. I know that like there's a lot of plot holes and everything. I know, but like you get immersed.
A lot of plot holes. They make Island's roads look perfect.
Okay, we're not here to bash. I didn't bash.
I am here to bash.
I don't bash each other.
Okay, like, it was a sunny day. We need some shade.
There is a lot of like plot holes, but like you growing up, you don't really like notice. You just get like involved into the story. Yeah. And you just like fall in love with the characters, and like this was technically. It was a
I gotta let Levy out. I'm sorry, guys. He's just barking a lot.
He's boofing.
I'll bring him out towards the end of the stream. Hey, Pop. Come on. We're going outside. We're going outside. You ready?
Sorry, here to do.
When I can't.
Oh my god, magic. No, but like honestly, like for the whole like the whole like the Kingdom Hearts series for me was more of a leaving the world behind. And being told a story that you haven't been told before, and that's kind of what I look out for a game, like something that can make you like not remember the world that you're in, because like you got stuck into the whole you need to save Kairi, period, plus meeting friends and like my best friend is this, and then I don't want to spoil like any other game, but like. But like Kingdom Hearts 2, yeah, they suck you in, and it's just like I need to continue playing. And even though this is like a like RPG, I didn't really enjoy the grinding part because I never do that in any game. I just go through story. So it made it easier for me to just enjoy the main story, since like at times I only got to play like 2-3 hours a day or like an hour a day, like me growing up, so I didn't get to put a lot of hours in one sitting where I can grind. But like Kingdom Hearts was an absolute like amazing game for me. A lot of people hate on it, but it's fine. Other doggo.
You've captured the cylinder.
So for the next one, we're gonna go to Jen on this one.
Hello.
As we switch.
Oh, I pushed the table in so we wouldn't have to do that.
Oh, well I'm fat, so it's okay.
Being a gentleman.
I'm being a gentlewoman.
Fato gentleman.
Alright.
My
Jen?
turn?
Yes.
I'm a child.
The end. Next,
no,
number 4.
Really, I am
Number
like
4.
most of what you're gonna see is games that are meant for like kids. But it was one of the games that my dad bought when we were growing up that was really popular at that point in time. And it wasn't a PS4 game, it was like a PS2 game or something.
PS1.
PS1?
Yeah, it was a PS1 game at
but,
first.
like, it was simple where we could watch him play and learn how to play and then copy it and play it ourselves on our own.
Copy paste.
And that's how I learned how to play video games, was by watching what my dad did.
Quick sidebar. Magic, what are you referring to? He said spare
Oh,
ears.
when you were bashing Kingdom Hearts.
Oh!
There you go.
No, it's a fun franchise. It's just confusing for me, and I just can't invest
It's not that bad. There are parts that can be really difficult, but it's pretty simple to figure out. I like the story behind it. I like the fact that like it gives you parts that you can like grind up or you just run through if you get enough like money in the game. The story is really good, and I liked the putting things together so you kind of have to think on how to get through the map itself, because you're just trying to get from planet to planet.
Yeah.
In some of them.
Which one came out first though, Jak and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank?
I think
Jak and Daxter. I think Ratchet and Clank.
Jak and
was
Daxter
kind of like
came first.
Yeah.
And Ratchet and Clank was kind of like
the more child-friendly version of it. So
Kinda,
they can monetize
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, they still had some dirty jokes.
But all games have dirty jokes.
But
except for
honestly,
Nintendo's.
I mean, the first two were really, really, really good. But like, the third one I didn't really fully get, but it's easy. It's easy, and if it's
Easy
a game,
money.
well,
Easy
if it's
breezy
a game
cover
that's
girl.
too difficult for me, I won't finish it. All of these that
Yeah,
are in the
that's true.
top 5, I've finished. Like Legend of Zelda would have been in top 5, but
I've
never
never
finished
finished the first Metroid Prime, but I finished every other game.
See, I never played any of them.
No.
Because
So
the
For-
last
for
boss
me-
is
for
oh,
me,
you're
it would
Ratchet
have to
Clank
be-
one. I never played yours.
But for me, it has to be a top game in order. Like I would have to finish it because I get bored. If it's too much grinding, if it's too much work, I want my game to be fun and easy. So not necessarily just beating it fast. I take my time with it, but like I played fucking Lego games.
Which I think was
so fun though.
They're so easy, but they're so fun.
That's the thing. They're just so fun. You could waste hours doing.
It's one of the reasons
nothing.
why, for me, Final Fantasy X never actually made it to my top 5 in this list because I never actually
Spoilers.
beat the game. Shut up. Shut up.
Jeez, might as well tell everybody what happens in Endgame.
Well, you see.
Thanos dies by ass expansion.
I believe it.
Lego green.
You actually saw it, so you know that's not true.
What does that say? I can't read it.
Lego games rule, man.
Oh yeah, no, I have
Oh,
Lego.
yeah, Lego
I have
games
Lego Batman
were
1 and
so-
2. He thinks I'm weird.
Lego
But
Star
I've
Wars,
beaten
honestly, I
both.
feel is the best.
I just want to own them all. I don't even care what they are.
Yeah, there was
I
a
just love
Lego
them.
Harry Potter, Lego Star Wars.
I want the Jurassic Park ones next.
Yes, I want.
Because I've only played the Batman ones.
I've been itching to
But
play those.
I love them. They're easy. Next.
All right,
Alright, so number 4.
your
Dun,
deep
dun,
voice.
dun.
Dead Space. Honestly, this was like I don't get scared. I don't really suffer from the oh my god, what's happening in a scary movie or whatever because I'm not immersed in the world. It doesn't affect me. But the atmosphere,
Completely like the opposite because I get it like into the
I know. I've
into
seen
the mood and everything. Freaking like Resident Evil 4, I get into it and like every little noise. What is that?
I fall asleep during them.
Yeah, but Dead Space, the atmosphere, the level design, even to this day, if you play the first Dead Space, visually, it still holds up. Like, it is ridiculous how good the whole series was. There are some complaints about the third game in the franchise, Dead Space 3. They're like, oh, this is a huge departure from what it was. But if you think about it critically, it really wasn't because in the first game, you're just the silent protagonist. You're meant to be the everyman. You're in there for whatever reason. You gotta save your wife, who's been dead the whole time. Spoilers for a game that is. Yeah, spoilers for a game that's been played a billion times and God knows how many past years since the game came out. In the second one, you're a little more vocal because Isaac Clarke becomes confident because he's already been through it once.
Who is that? Like the main character?
The main character's
Okay.
name is Isaac Clarke.
You never say anything. So I'm like, oh, no,
He's an engineer, and in the first game, he's just using.
Sure. I don't know anything about the game, so it's like okay.
All right, so the theme, the whole game Dead Space is about a guy named Isaac Clarke. He's an engineer for a company that literally has ships fly into space, crack planets wide open for materials. And what happens is, they find a thing called, I already forgot the name of it. It's a relic. Excuse me. Crap, what was it? What was the name of it? I can't remember. I haven't played the game in forever. And whatever, it creates zombie aliens, basically. It's zombie aliens. There's really nothing outside of that. But the reason he goes is not only to help figure out what happened, but to save his wife. And throughout the whole game, you fight off these zombie aliens. Nowhere is safe, not even elevators. And you just get attacked, whatever. And the whole point of the game is you're looking for your wife.
My wife.
The plot twist at the end is, and if you paid attention to the beginning of every chapter, his wife has been dead the whole time.
Wow. I'm never playing the game now. I already know the plot twist.
No. She gets the plot twist.
It's a good plot twist.
It's a good plot twist.
I've watched people play the first one.
Yeah, and you realize, these interactions you had with her are a result of the relic that they uncovered. It literally drives people to madness.
Oh.
And specific people, for whatever reason, will become in tune with that madness and can recreate the relic.
That's dope.
Yeah, so in the second game, a government church religion called the Church of Unity or Unification. It's some crazy cult, basically. they kidnap you because they're using your brain to build the relics. I'm trying to remember that. Monolith? What is it Monolith? That's from the Space Odyssey. She can't remember the name of it. And whatever. So they do it by sticking a needle through your eye to get to your brain. You still have your eyeballs though. So
big oof right there.
Yeah, so in the second game, you know, you're a little vocal because you're pissed. Like, you already went through it once. And they put you on a space colony with a bunch of residents. So you're basically in a metropolitan area. And you get new type of zombies. Like, I never beat the second game either. I never beat any of the games except for the third one because it takes forever to get through. The atmosphere of the building and the terror it builds is ridiculous. So whatever,
it's good to watch.
That's wild.
Yeah, no, atmospherically that game is amazing. The level design, everything big. And then in the third game, whatever.
Like, I've heard of the game. I've never actually heard, like, seen or like
I have
heard
all for Xbox.
No, but like I've heard of the game. I'm like, okay, cool. Like that's supposed to be a scary game, cool. But I've never actually heard anything about it or like actually watch anyone play it. So now I kind of have something to watch later.
And then the
third, YouTube.
I was like, and then the third game.
I've seen some of it.
And you find out that the relics, whatever, I can't remember their names. I gotta look it up at some point, or if someone could look it up for me.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Punch in the face.
Dead Space Relics?
Yeah, Dead Space. Just put Dead Space. Artifact location. Just click the fandom. It was a Church of Unitology. And what was it? No, there's actual artifacts in the game. It's stupid. Don't worry. Yeah, just go down. Scroll down. Yes, we're currently looking up the wiki for it. Just put Dead Space FAQ or whatever. Well, yeah. In the third game, you're fighting. You find out that the relics are meant to amass all the biomass on a planet. And then it combines it to create a giant mind control moon.
Just write names.
Yeah. Just put Dead Space. Just delete everything. Just put Dead Space. Okay. Oh, there you go. Well, no, the bottom one, Wikipedia.
Why did you do it like 3 times? No, go ahead. You're good.
So in the third one, you're on a planet. You're like, oh, we gotta shut these things down. There's a machine that shuts them down. And you realize the machine wasn't meant... It was meant to be a stall tactic. It froze all the biomatter on the planet. And people are like, oh, well, why is he on a planet? Why is the claustrophobic feeling is gone? Like, because the stakes have been getting higher and higher. He's not just fighting... It's up on plot. The story about begins... I'm reading a wiki page right now.
So quick. Like you're giving them pretty much the whole like gameplay.
Yeah, basically first one you're on a ship. Second one you're in a metropolitan area, and the third one you're on a planet and you have to fight a moon god basically.
Oh damn.
Yeah, the game ends
moon god
with the moon fall. You and the moon fall from orbit and crash into the planet, and you're allegedly dead. In the DLC, it goes back to its kind of insane craziness, and it's really well done. I felt it was good because it was an obvious progression, and
I love how Paraligious, like you're all talking about this in-depth stuff, and like I like games, so all I have to do is button smash.
Again,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, again, like I said, for me, it's a lot of it is escapism. Life was a little rough growing up for me.
No,
and
it does go like without. Pretty much like the rest of us. Like this is how we grew up. This is how we got to express ourselves. And
like I said, the reason I love Dead Space is first one, sheer terror. Second one, horror. Third one, you've had enough of it. Time to go action hero. You're fed up with these aliens. It's time to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
You should definitely watch it though.
You
should watch the walkthrough.
I definitely want to actually see it.
It was a good walkthrough. You've probably seen some of it because I've watched it at home.
And if I had to summarize the gameplay in one minute, if you killed it, it's not dead. If you didn't kill it, it's definitely not dead.
Double tap.
No, you triple tap.
Quadruple tap.
You annihilate the body. You have to annihilate the body.
Desecrate the area.
Yeah. And next on the list, number 4 for Steven.
So for my number 4 is something that I played growing up. But is there no? You're like you're reacting to the wrong game.
I'm reacting to the right game.
No, well, not, but like my game is actually one that I haven't seen a lot of people I don't know about this or even played it.
I've never heard of it.
Dragon Guard 2. It's one of those like hidden games that like no one that I know has ever played it, which is weird for me. But like,
it's because we're not weebs.
No, like I literally like I went.
Look at that
like,
cover art. That is super weeb.
It is weeby as hell, but
that's Dragon Quest. Weeb.
Like literally,
No,
it was like one of the cheapest games that like were like.
Oh, it's by Square Enix. No wonder.
Oh yes, like
they make good games.
But like Dragon Guard 2, honestly, will immerse you in a pretty good story, and it's a really good like hack and slash game where you heard of like Hyrule Warriors?
Yeah.
Pretty much like the gameplay is like that.
Or Dragon Quest Heroes.
Or Dragon Quest Heroes, yeah. It's pretty much exactly like that. It's a huge like hack and slash game, but the whole story is literally that like the main character I don't know exactly how they say it. Let me see if I can find his name. Like Noe or No, he it's actually like One.
Just call it One.
It is One, but
America.
He is apparently raised by dragons, but he actually has like royalty blood. I can only crick my neck into my body so much. It gets really, really good like throughout the game where like you like recruit like other characters like Mana, like Eris. Kaim is supposed to be like one of the bad guys. Actually, still like ends up being like
good guy turned bad guys.
Yeah, well, like bad guys turn good guys.
Well, it says the protagonist of the first Dragon Guard game and later returns as an antagonist in the sequel. English, his first language. Says that he was the protagonist, becomes the antagonist.
But I think Dragon Guard 2 was the one that I played growing up, and like Dragon Guard 2 I played over and over again, and it has a good level up system. You get to pretty much play on either on the dragon, on the battlefield. There is like sky battles, so you're like on the dragon like taking down ships.
Chips? I want chips.
Chips, yeah, chips.
We have chips. I have crackers in the car.
Can't take down chips.
And me continuously playing this game like throughout the years, I happen to find like that there's a third installment. Don't play that.
Don't play that.
Don't play the third installment. You know.
The Curse of the Threequel.
No, like when you played like one game, you're like, oh my god, this.
Yeah, no, it's the Curse of the Threequel.
No, and this one's also like rated M.
Like
they are sexual.
Like Dragon Guard 2. No, like Dragon Guard 2 was literally like okay, they made a few puns here and there. They made some like weird remarks, whatever, fine. In Dragon Guard 3, it's pure like
unadulterated adult
content. Like
a teenager would be like. Like so
what?
Much. There's
like,
so much moaning. There's so much like partial nudity.
It's unadulterated adultery.
It is exactly, and I wasn't expecting that. Like when I did like my first playthrough of that on YouTube, I'm like, oh,
and that was when you were PG-13.
I'm like, excuse me. I'm like, what is this? I don't remember being like that.
Demonetized.
Right? I was not expecting that, but the game was still fun because it's still a hack and slash. It's still. Like,
I have a.
Yeah, no, like they see it, but like it's one of the games that like will also like exactly like Kingdom Hearts. It will put you into the game and you just want to keep on playing non-stop. Although the hack and slash part did come a little more. What are you doing?
I want it centered. I got a little OCD here.
Being weird.
I just want it.
But the game itself, you know, like. You wanted to hold that, like, into like that space.
Yeah, no.
Like in this game, like I haven't played it since like me growing up, so I cannot wait to like kind of like re-find it.
A lot of these games were played during high school for me, which was like okay. Let's not talk about it.
Like 8-9 years ago.
Yeah, what's
8-9 years ago?
In the past decade.
But
like a couple of days ago, I said it was 4 years ago that we went to.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
It was more longer than that.
That's why I hesitated. I just realized, like, oh wait, no. Well, no.
But like,
what is he doing? Please stop.
The second one was really good though. I enjoyed watching that on your channel.
I never played like the second one on the channel.
No, it was the third one.
It was the third one that I played. I have found like the second one, but it's probably still scratched up. Mm-hmm. That's my only problem with it. Which I need to find like another copy of it, but it's still kind of hard to find since it's a very like underrated game that not many people know about. It's kind of like the game like Thousand Arms. Not a lot of people know about it, but it's a good find. And I think that one's also by Square Enix or by Atlas.
And like it's not like one of those games where
I think it
looks
it's by Atlas.
Super old. Like it's besides like the flying,
it's just rare.
Besides flying and fighting in the air with the dragons, that's a little like
wonky.
But you just running
in
around
the third one
and
that is
hitting people. It's honestly it's pretty good.
It's just pure fun.
Flying in older games was a bit weird.
It's just hack and slash.
Yeah,
which is
you
great.
literally just level up and just hit people.
You hit things till they die.
Alright, so the number 4 for Gem, which is actually one of the more interesting ones because I did not grow up with this.
Like I said,
I never played it, but I know of it. I was aware of it.
I am still a child because I went out and bought all 3 games the minute we got the PS3. No, well, not the minute we got the PS3, but
as soon as you had the money for it.
Like it was something that me and my brother bonded over, where whatever part I couldn't get through, he got through, and we literally went through and beat all 3 games at least 3 or 4 times growing up. It's easy. You are a raccoon and you're just going around and stealing shit.
You're doing raccoon stuff.
You just gotta beat the bad guys who are doing even worse things. And 1, 2, and 3 they're all good.
So it's kind of like you're being like Robin Hood, pretty much.
Pretty much, it's like a Robin Hood. You're a raccoon.
You're Robin Hood.
Like your tech master is a turtle, and your arms demolition man is, I think he's like a hippo.
It's a hippo.
It's a hippo, right? Yeah.
Like, I don't remember this game. So
I never played it, but I know the characters.
It's so good. I love it. It's easy. You don't have to think too hard.
There's some platforming to it.
Yeah. I mean, there are some parts where even I now still get stuck at. Like the first.
Oh, that's
the first one. I'm still stuck at the end because it's a part that I never beat, and Kaden always had to beat it for me.
Which Kingdom Hearts game has the fight with Hook?
1, 2, and 2.
Well, one of my friends, she has to have her husband do that fight for her to this day. Yeah. She cannot beat Hook for whatever reason. He's just like, oh, cool, done. And she's like, I've been doing this for hours.
It's like the racing ones. The racing ones I have to have him come in and do for Sly Cooper. I don't know why. I can't like function and do that. But
hand-eye coordination?
I think so. I don't have hand-eye coordination whatsoever. But like it's simple.
Catch.
I'm a child. Also, I grew up
these hands.
I grew up with like younger siblings, so I grew up playing like frickin' Winnie the Pooh Bear,
which makes sense for this game.
I was thinking about Jumpstart.
In like
remember the Jumpstart CD-ROM games for computers?
I don't.
Yes.
You do? I don't remember that.
I played them at school. One time I was given a disc by a teacher. Like, we're gonna get rid of this because no things. And I played Jumpstart computer games for like a long time.
See, I don't know exactly what those
They're impossible to beat. They're meant to teach you, but there's a way to beat them. I know it.
But off topic, because that reminded me. Me and my brother used to play like Age of Empire.
Yeah.
On the PC and also on like Civilization. For me not knowing what the political factor of like everything was, or me not really knowing how like everything works, we actually did pretty okay. Like building our own little like empire and like making like an army and like invading people and whatnot.
Yeah.
We weren't.
It's like the
smart,
Sims, except political.
True.
But you gotta play this. It's simple.
No.
You don't have to think. It's easy. It's fun. You get
speed
to
run it.
I mean,
I want you to speed run this game, Jen.
There's
You're
parts
speed
where,
running it on stream.
Oh yeah, I could speed. At least the first one I could speed run. But like, there's parts where you can just run around and
challenge accepted.
I looked at you. I'm like, are you gonna try?
Oh no, it's seriously, it's so much fun. Like, you've watched me. The minute I got it, I sat down and beat, like, half the game. And then I didn't touch it for, like, 3 months.
I'm thinking, what game do I know that well that I could speedrun? And I just...
Psychooper, I could speedrun.
I could probably speedrun
I could
Metroid
speedrun
Fusion.
my way because, like, I have this OCD thing with, like, I have to get everything.
So you want to, like, 100% speedrun the game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I could probably beat
look that
Metroid
up for you.
Yeah.
No.
And you could be like the world record for it.
No, I don't want to beat the world record for it. I like
Think
playing
about
my
it, though.
games and not
Fame
getting
and fortune.
competitive with them.
No, see, cause like I actually got into
It's
the competitive
It's been
like,
bothering me
speed
for
running,
times.
and I actually speed run like auras, and I got to like the top 20.
I got it.
All right,
Sidebar.
so for number 3.
the BioShock franchise, including Infinite, because I know a lot of people had an issue with that game series.
You're very like dark and moody.
Is that the one with the girl with the
The little girl
boobies?
that...
Yeah,
No,
the
the girl
girl-
with the boobies and the heart on the boobies that looks like
You downloaded the wrong BioShock game.
no.
What?
No,
wrong,
with, like,
wrong
the
BioShock.
purple, like top, and she's got the heart. I don't know.
Lollipop Chainsaw or something?
Moxie or whatever. her
No,
name
that's
is.
Borderlands.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's it.
That was one.
Oh, that's Borderlands.
I had Borderlands in there
I
too.
get it mixed up.
See,
Mad
I never-
Moxie, she's awesome. But no, BioShock again. Yeah, I like the escapism aspect. Like again, growing up was rough. We didn't travel often. We didn't get to see much. So whatever video games I could get my hands on were my escape to see different things, because you know. In different worlds, like like Dead Space and BioShock were both based off a different game called System Shock, which I never played. I know of. I will hopefully play it one day. And again, I like the sci-fi fantasy element of it. Like, you are basically like a tank. In the first game, you're just a regular person that's been brainwashed.
Well, the main people. Like in the cover, it's pretty much a tank.
No, that's actually a Big Daddy. It's an enemy. In the second game, you actually become a Big Daddy. So yeah, the first game.
I have no idea about this game.
Okay,
I don't either.
First game, underwater city, super high tech because capitalism is rampant. Like, if you can make money off of it, you're allowed to do it whatever it takes to make you that money is fair. But what happens is it obviously goes to pot because bad practices, bad ideas, just bad everything. So one of the things that happens is you are the son of the guy who built the city, and that's my mother calling me. Yeah. Dame un segundo. Dame un segundo. You're the kidnapped son of the guy who built up the entire city, and you've been brainwashed and aged up to go and kill him. And the guy you thought was your friend, the guy named Atlas, which is actually a guy named Fontaine, he pretends to be your friend. He was like, "Oh, would you kindly go do this for me? Would you kindly go do that? Would you kindly?" Because "would you kindly" is your trigger phrase, in which whenever you hear that, you have to do what you're told.
Okay.
So when you go to the end where you have to fight your father, he says this: a man chooses, a slave obeys. Kind of like saying you have a choice now. You can either do what you're told and be a puppet to this guy, or you can choose your own fate. Obviously, you kill him, and you're like, "Oh well, yeah, I played you. Congratulations, you played yourself." So you're fighting the genetic splicing that they did to you and all this other crap, and you're saved by the little sisters, which are little characters in there. But whatever. Yeah, story ends with you killing the bad guy, Nicholas Fontaine. In the second one, the story flips. You become a Big Daddy. That is one of the prototypes.
Okay.
And you have to find your little sister before you die, basically.
Okay.
Which coincidentally, your little sister, they're called little sisters, but they're just kidnapped children. Literally, all the little sisters are kidnapped little girls from the surface world. All of them, every single one, were kidnapped off the surface.
Oh, I can imagine is like a tentacle arm coming out of the ocean on the beach and just pulling a little girl in.
No, it was
mine.
It was a pyramid scheme of people kidnapping little girls and orphans. It's it's super dark, dude. And you're a big daddy trying to find your little sister, and this crazy woman, she's like, nope, this is my house now. This is my house. Anything that happens because I want it to. So your whole job is to take her down and get back to your little sister.
Okay, I can see that.
And in the whole game, you have these abilities that you get from things called plasmids. They just alter your genetics so you can shoot lightning, fire, shoot out bees.
Bees?
Yeah, you can shoot out bees.
Wait, but here's the
yes, Nicolas Cage, the Wicker Man.
No.
Oh God!
No. This is the real important question. Did any of those bees have any nipples?
I don't know. They're too tiny, and they're
also needed to find out. This is something important that we all need to know.
Do they have nipples?
Do those bees have any nipples?
Yeah. Well, okay. I don't know. So yeah, second one, you have choices. There's a good path, a neutral path, and an evil path. In the good path, you don't kill anyone that you don't have to kill.
Yeah.
Neutral path, you kind of kill some people because you're given motivations to kill everyone. Yeah. Like, oh, this is the lady who made it, so you got separated from your little sister, and you're like, you can kill her now, or you can let her live. And if you let everyone live, you don't harvest any of the little sisters because it gives you the choice. Like, you can either harvest the atom, which is what allows the plasmids to work, or you can, cure them. Like, hey, you are now cured of your disease. And you can go good path, bad path. Like, you can let everyone survive and harvest all the little sisters neutral. It's like 3 different endings, 4 or 5 different. I don't remember. There's a lot of endings.
It's just way too deep into it right now.
Oh yeah, no, I've played it so many times. I know all the endings. Like, if you choose to save all the little sisters but kill everyone who wronged you, you go to the surface world and you basically take over the world. Like, you set the world on fire.
Dope.
If you let everyone live and kill all the harvest all the little sisters.
Big old spoilers, by the way.
For a freaking game that's like over a decade old at this point.
Spoilers.
If you let everyone else live, if you kill everybody and kill the little sisters, your little sister becomes a big sister. Yeah. Basically, she kills you.
Damn.
There's one where
savage.
There's one where you die. You take over the world. You die a peaceful death, or you kill the lady. Depending on your choices, you either let the lady who did cause all this to die or survive. Wow. But the accepted canon ending is the good ending, where you cure all the little sisters, you let everyone survive, and you die an old man. They find a cure for your genetic modifications to make you Big Daddy, and you die happy. Like, you grow old, and all your daughters little sisters that you saved. Yeah, no, it's canonically accepted as the main.
That's nice enough. At least you die happy.
Yeah, no, it is literally the best ending because you die from old age, surrounded by family that you made.
Okay.
That's why I like that.
I can see that.
And then BioShock Infinite is a huge departure. It's alright. I liked it for what it was. There's no need to get into it.
What you're saying is you want to be a mutated alien living in space?
No. I just want to have superpowers and do whatever the hell I want.
That's also true. Did you need to take care of that or not?
I'm pretty sure it was just to let the dog in.
Oh, okay. So for my number 4, now that you went to a whole explanation, you went.
He has a better explanation of all the games than we do.
Than we do. Well, for this one, at least I have more recent knowledge of this one.
Well, again, all these games I played in the past decade, and I know why I played them.
Okay, I played certain games, I just don't remember all of them because I have for Dragon Guard, I have not played since I was 14, 15. That's a decade ago, and I've played so many games. Since then. And for Kingdom Hearts, I didn't want to spoil everything because Kingdom Hearts 3 is still technically new, even though it's still under a year old, so I didn't want to spoil anything. But the Kingdom Hearts series has always been super great. But this one is pretty much what my entire.
I haven't played that in a while.
It's pretty much what my entire channel was about for pretty much the longest 4 or 5 years on YouTube and Twitch.
Catch 'em all.
But
Pokemon.
So my whole thing for my number 3 is going to be for Pokemon Silver / Black and White and Black and White 2. I had to put those 2 all together because that's my personal favorite style of them.
Pokemon Silver or Pokemon Soul Silver? You're going OG or remake?
Pokemon Silver is because that was the first that I actually non-stop play the game. And and also Lugia is my favorite legend. And Lugia. Yes, Lugia is my favorite legendary. But for Pokemon Silver, it's one of the games that I've constantly played over and over and over again. Silver, Gold, and Crystal are one of the games that I can put down and then just say it pick right up. To me, it's one of my favorite, one of the best
as a whole,
and favorite
you could
generation
do that for Pokemon. It's just the generational differences.
Yeah, it's just generational
so
differences.
you liked what they did in Silver and Black and White too, over what they've done with.
Well, for me, it's very fun story for me because a lot of people love Gen 4 for what it is, but I never got to play Gen 4.
You got to play this gen though.
This is true.
You married her. You got to the end game and beat it.
I never actually spoilers.
Spoilers. They're married.
No, spoilers of Endgame. You got to the end.
The movie ends with
the movie
credits. Ends. I'm sorry, I had to spoil it for everyone, even though I haven't seen it.
For Generation 4, a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's the best generation ever. That's the best thing." I'm like,
DPPT?
Well, not really. But for me, a lot of people hate on Generation 5, which is pretty much a reboot of Pokemon, which is a great time for me because that is when I got back into Pokemon.
But it's understandable because saying, why are we reinventing the wheel? Keep going, keep rolling. But at the same time, during that time is when they were afraid that they were gonna get off the market too. Yeah, because Gen 4 was literally a hit or miss for them too. Hit or miss? I guess I never
miss. I guess they never miss either. The end of the game.
I hate me. I'm just gonna
just dive down into that.
Oh, my old man back! I can't get my girl.
But for me, Gen 5 was literally when they reinvented the wheel, pretty much, as to say. And
they tried to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah,
they just made another wheel.
But for me, it was they pretty much made a square wheel that didn't work out that well. But for me, that wheel still brought me back into the game where I missed a whole generation. Yeah. And it was oh, new Pokemon. Okay, I can only play with these Pokemon. Yeah, I'm A-okay with this.
That's what I was going to say, though. Harkening back to our conversation about trading card games. Yeah. How Yu-Gi-Oh! No longer has a point of entry. No. If you try to start now, you are lost. You're screwed. There's no way. What Pokemon was trying to do with Gen 5 was look, there are a lot of people who are playing our games that are 20, 30 years old. They know what they're doing. But there's some 5, 10-year-old that has no idea what's going on.
And their audience is those kids because
that's actually the audience they're targeting. Their target audience
they're targeting them
children in between 4th and 7th grade.
But and also again for those who have seen what what my pattern has been going through, story makes me get glued to a game and Generation 5 sorry and Generation 5 has the best story by far. Yeah, no. Again, there's a lot of plot holes.
The ending was
every game has a lot of plot holes. No game is perfect, but they involved you.
Not Kingdom Hearts. No, there's plot holes everywhere in every game.
But they involved you in the story, and they gave you a story that you will not ever forget. And
it's
in Black and White 2, story continues 2 years after. Yeah,
with new protagonists, technically.
With a new protagonist, and the people from the last game.
Wait, that brings in a huge question, though, because you have your friends in Black and White. Correct? Yes. Remember Bianca and I forgot the other dude's name.
Bianca and...
She's the only important one, though. Bianca's bae. How old were they when they started their adventure? Because 2 years after, they look like they're at least 18.
I think they started when they were 15?
They look like they're at least 18 at that point.
But
so they started pretty late as training because you're supposed to start off as a 10-year-old.
Some people are late bloomers.
We're currently Googling and Wikipediaing the crap out of it.
Also, some of them just go through puberty real fast.
Age 12 and then 15. Actually, that makes sense. Yeah. It's actually 3 years after.
So she's still jailbait. Crap.
Wow.
Hey, how old was I when this game came out? Go back.
How
It's not jailbait.
Black and White came out, I think, when we were 16.
I hope so.
Came out in 2011.
2010.
Wait,
2010 earliest, because I'm counting that.
You were legal.
No, 2011, so...
You were legal.
Yeah.
She was not.
You were 17. No, you were 18.
You were 18.
2010?
2011.
I'm going by 2010
March
being the oldest date.
20.
So that was 9 years
March
ago.
6th.
No, I was underage.
Yeah, for like what? 3 days?
Oh my god. For like September.
10 days.
August. No, wait. No.
It said U.S.
No.
March 6, 2011.
So you were 17.
It's 1 year, okay?
Like a week.
It's still a fictional character.
Ladies and
Either
gentlemen,
way,
we
it's
got
still
him. I'm going to
15.
jail.
It's still 15.
Oh, hey, thanks, Magic.
It is.
I have a list of bays. She's
There
just
are
on there.
games that you have played multiple times, though, as
And like black and white.
playthroughs and by yourself.
Oh yeah, I remember when Black
And,
and
like-
White released. I couldn't put it down. I literally was playing at work.
I couldn't put it down, and like it was like I only put it down like when I went to school. But then like when I went back home, I would play the game nonstop because it had such a like immersive story.
Hey.
And even with that, it was just like
Perry.
it's just like okay, what to do next, and all the months in that whole like generation have become one of my favorites. Because we have
Seismitoad is definitely one of my favorites.
Seismitoad was underrated for me, and I didn't
He
care for
carried my ass
No,
in that generation.
No, like my team was pretty much dark and fighting,
I had a pretty balanced team.
like Scrafty.
Because I had
and
Electros
and
and,
like Crocodile.
and Seismitoad. They were my front runners. They
See, but that's like the small way of growing up. But I just went by like the first like point. I was like, oh my god, you look cool, and I'm like, okay. And then realized how weak my team was to freaking fighting.
No, I know.
So like, so like in the like Elite Four, I was struggling against what's his name?
Even in the Elite Four,
Bruno.
Seismitoad carried my
Oh no, like
ass.
Seismitoad was great in the
Didn't
game.
he like have Drain Punch or whatever move it was?
Seismitoad?
Yeah, he had a punch that did like a lot of damage and healed him.
Then I'll be Drain Punch or someone that actually does damage. And
No, I want Lucy to kick me in the face.
oh my god. Oh my god, Perry.
Not kick me in the face, but probably step on me.
That's just going a whole different thing.
We're all adults here.
True.
We all know we're friends.
But like,
And if
Black
you
and
don't know what we're referencing, you're not old enough to be here.
But also, I believe that in Generation 5, it was the first like generation that they
Crocodile
made
for me,
it
Perry.
so that the gym leaders actually did like something instead of just I'm the gym leader, here's a badge, okay, bye.
Yeah, no, they actually
Like they actually were part of your story. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this made me actually care. About
I
the
love
gym
that there was a
leaders.
random Texan in the world of Pokemon. It's not even a character. It's just a random Texan.
No, he's a cowboy.
He
is
had
a
the
cowboy.
hat, the fucking chaps, the boots, everything.
Somebody
freaking
said
older cub.
we can do this game, but this has to be a
America.
character.
Plus, it was also based in like America, so like I never know
Yeah,
that.
Univille was New York.
Like I never
basically.
actually knew that. Like me
Oh,
growing
really?
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Univille is
I
based
didn't know
off
that.
New York because every game is based off like
Yeah, they're
a
all
region
based off
slash.
something.
As bad as the clowns. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
those clowns, man, they're scary.
Okay, for your number,
Wait, who's?
Who's?
Jans,
Me?
your
Yeah.
number 3. Oh, it's Ape Escape.
That's like almost number 1, dude. Like
I
you
remember
literally
Ape
run
Escape.
around and catch monkeys.
Yeah, that
with
game
a
was ridiculous.
Fucking net.
It was
You
ridiculous.
catch monkeys that have these hats.
The joy
Okay,
in your face
okay,
was
no,
it was
this was
amazing.
so
Let her deep dive. I've had
nobody understood this in my family. Like, Kaden would sit there and watch me play it, but like nobody liked it. We literally, I swear, we got it with like as like a free like try it out type of thing from like Papa John's or Papa Gino's or whatever when they would give you like those little demos.
Papazinos.
And it was just, it's so good. And we bought it, and I played it nonstop. It's the scientist dude sent you out to capture his fucking escaped
Laboratory
monkey.
monkeys.
Yeah, his laboratory monkeys. They had hats on their head that would like let them know
When
if
you were near.
around or
Yeah.
when they were in distress. And
Sure.
like, you would literally just run around and catch monkeys.
I'm sweaty. That's why.
And each monkey would have a name. They would have a weakness. They would have a strength. They would have like
You got their whole bio, horoscope, and blood type.
literally, and it's amazing. and you could like practice catching monkeys, and you had to really search for them. There were a certain amount of monkeys you had to get in each stage.
There's
It's
also like
so
kitty collectibles.
Good. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, that game was pretty fun. It's ridiculous.
It was like I
remember when
I
McDonald's
remember
had the GameCube. That's where I played Ape Escape. I remember playing Ape Escape.
I got super excited for that one.
And
It's my favorite game.
Yeah, because I remember the specific one I went to play it is the McDonald's where the Walmart is with that little plaza going toward. It's the gas. It's in Johnston. The Walmart in Johnston.
Oh yes.
That's where I knew they had Ape Escape. So whenever we were there, I'm like, oh, can we get McDonald's and just sit down? Again, poor Bo. Whenever I could convince her, I had to behave for like a month to go. So like by chance, it's like, hey, I was like, can we just sit down, we can all eat together and have a fun day and not have to worry about the fact that life sucks right now.
It's amazing.
Ape Escape
Oh yeah, no selfless thing I do does not come with underlying motives. I will admit that right now.
Ape Escape is so good.
But everyone had fun that day, and I got to play a GameCube game.
And then there's a sequel, and then there's a third.
Yeah, there's
but
three.
like I do remember playing this back in like back in my motherland, like in
Plátano City,
in PR where
Plátano City.
Lewis was actually playing the game. Yes,
The Republic of Plátanos.
Where Lewis was playing the game, and like I would only watch it because I wasn't
sure
that
about
like
it.
coordinated enough to play, because I was still very young like when the game like came out.
Yeah, no, Ape Escape,
and
it's really fun, but
how we used to play was literally him play, but like maybe like the extra eyes, because that's also how we play like Metal Gear. No.
Do you remember Monkey Ball?
Yes.
That's his game.
That was my game 100%.
I feel like the Monkey
Ball was so good for me. I used to play that nonstop. It used to piss me off.
But yeah, back to Jen. Is that it about Ape Escape? You love it?
Oh no, I could literally talk about Ape Escape all the fucking time.
Who's your
You
favorite
literally-
monkey?
Well,
they all had names
Okay,
too.
no, I don't remember their names. I can't because I never remember anything
There
about
was
any of
a
the
lot
games.
of
But like I was, like I said,
Is that the
growing
trash
up.
right now?
No, that's my sister's boyfriend.
Okay.
Like I said, growing
He works for a
up,
lawn care company.
we played kid games because I was surrounded by kids, and even though I was the oldest, it was you kept playing the kid game. But that one was so good. I played the demo so much that my parents actually bought me the normal, actually fucking game.
I remember I had my PlayStation 1 was the remade one, the Slim.
Yes.
And put that on your head because I want you to do it.
No.
I'm the only one who's sweaty and I feel left out.
I put it on top of the hat.
Yeah, no. I remember playing the demo games for the PlayStation. Like
That's how
Monsters
I got it.
Inc.
I got that. I got.
Did anyone else play the Monsters Inc. game? I thought that was a pretty fun
I
game.
got Final Fantasy at some point, and I played the demo. It was always like pizza places that you would get it.
Yeah, but like back in the day,
But like
that's their way of like advertising games back then.
exactly, and it was so good. I literally like.
Hey, game devs, release demos with pizza and Happy Meals
Ape
again.
Escape is so good. It's so good. It's so fun. It's so funny. You wanna, and it was actually you had to like chase those monkeys.
Yeah, no, you have to
Like
put in
they
work.
made it difficult.
You have to corner them or bait them.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh, yeah.
have.
I
I
remember
don't
that.
have hand-eye coordination.
I remember that part.
But I had it for that game.
I bet.
I tried with that game.
You actually tried.
It was so good.
So
Play
fucking play it.
Everybody should play.
Everyone should play it. It's
one or two.
It's
or three.
equally challenging as it is friendly and fun. But my next game is
Number two. The definition of really boring game for me.
Okay, you suck.
It's just a really boring
No, that's
game
fair.
for me.
It's the whole game is based off grind. My next choice is Monster Hunter.
Like this is legit a game that seems really interesting for me. Like no
The
like
concept.
like no disrespect. Like,
the concept is awesome.
and you're a game that you enjoy, but like this is a game that you legit need more than 1 hour like to play because there's a lot of grinding in this.
No,
Yeah, I'd get bored.
it is a lot of grind, but there's a satisfaction in learning a monster's attack patterns and then curb stomping it.
AKA you learn what type it is and then you pick a counter. AKA it's a more difficult version than freaking Pokemon.
No, there's even elemental weaknesses don't mean anything. You have to learn his attack patterns. know when to strike, when to dodge, when to parry, when to block. You learn the monster inside and out. There's even places like certain monsters will take no slash damage to the face, like almost next to no slash damage, but they'll take a lot of impact damage, or blunt damage, or shot damage, or the paralysis, poison, sleep.
I think this one's number one.
No, it's not number one for me. Honestly, there's so many games. I don't think I have a number one.
Wait. This is how in depth you need to go into this game.
If you ever, a lot of people are turned off by the grind, yes, but it's basically Dark Souls light. I hate to make the Dark Souls metaphor. It's the Dark Souls of no, but it's not like if you've ever played Dark Souls, Bloodborne, or Sekiro, you learn the attack pattern.
Platinum is the Bloodborne of like freaking Pokemon.
Yeah, pretty much. That game was.
It's the Bloodborne light.
Yeah, it's Bloodborne light
of all Pokemon games. See, but like for this, like,
yeah, no, the satisfaction though of learning a monster's movesets, the best way to avoid them, and even then you could still get curb stomped yourself, is so amazing to the point where I spent almost $1,000 on figures and collectibles.
See, like the whole
concept
is.
I have a whole shelf. I'll take a picture of it later and I'll post it on Twitter.
Like the whole concept of it is cool as hell. Like the monster designs, cool as hell.
Oh yeah, the Brachydios,
the gameplay itself,
the Basarios, the Camelios, the Hermitar, the Brachydios, Enraged, Ancantor, the Kazu. I know all these monsters by name.
See, but like the gameplay itself looks great. The actual playing of the game can't do.
It's a slog. I will not deny that at all. Like, if you aren't used to grinding for hours, and that's why I thought you would like it, because you play Pokemon. We can take these off now.
Yeah, but I think it's like
I thought the grind would be like again the satisfaction, and then in not world, because it's obviously Monster Hunter Light. I will say it plain and simple. It's Monster Hunter Light. You had to like, all right, do I want like in the other Monster Hunter games, like the original ones?
Yeah.
There's no infinite pickaxe. That was an item you had to bring with you that broke. No infinite bug nets. That was an item that you brought with you that broke. Your whetstone wasn't infinite. It was an item that eventually ran out. There was no going back to camp to switch weapons, get more items. Well, if you went in there with a potion and a butter knife, that's what you had for the whole quest.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm good. I'm all
set. It came into skill and partial luck
with a butter knife.
Yeah, because you would there's some quests where like, oh hey, you're gonna fight an enraged Devil Joe, one of the hardest things to do, naked, and that's it.
And afraid.
And naked and afraid, basically. And there's a YouTube group channel, a group of players called Team Darkside. Look them up. They do the craziest things. Like the Nerd Gigante, which is one of the harder monsters in the world, they killed it in under a minute. Their whole thing is min-maxing. And like original Monster Hunter, your armors also gave you a debuff. So it wasn't just like, oh, plus 10 HP, and then it would be like minus 10 defense.
Yeah, so it would make more sense.
Yeah, so you had to learn to min-max your stats. I'm like, am I willing to sacrifice my defense for this stat? Like plus fire attack, plus blast attack, plus this, plus status, plus affinity, minus hunger. Because hunger was a thing, and your stamina gauge would deplete stupid quick.
Damn, see, this is like a game that I
there is so much min-maxing that needs to be done in that game. Look up Gaijin Hunter.
Jen's just like, no, I'm good.
Like, this guy's gone in death. There's so many people gone in death.
This is your like version of fun. This is like me and Jen's version of like, we pick up the game for like 10 minutes and put it down and go back to GameStop. It's like, oh, we'll give you $10. I'll give you $2 to take it away from me. Like that. Like that's how we would feel.
Like so far from the theme of my games, you see, I like that solo player experience. I don't like to socialize with people that much.
Story of my life. Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we're talking to people on the interwebs.
On the interwebs.
I got over it eventually.
But if you think about it, besides the three of us, there's probably only about 3 other people we actually will sit down and talk to face to face.
True.
Face to face.
Well, I would do that like with Magic. I love Magic.
I'll get Taco Bell
Magic.
We still need to get some Taco Bell with Matt.
Yeah, we do. But yeah, no, the game is like the original like Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. Monster Hunter Generations, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, Generation 3. It's like there's you can do the game. It min maxes you. It tests your ability to learn attack patterns and all this. Like it challenges you, but that satisfying reward of overcoming that mountain that is whatever monster you're fighting is amazingly satisfying. Like imagine spending hours just trying to learn how to beat one monster, and then you finally do it.
No, I'd give up.
No,
after
see,
an hour.
Well, not hours.
I can't.
Well, close
even
to
like even like for like Pokemon, like I do not like grinding. So like me trying to make a whole team and me having to grind like a whole like it's like me going to like League 4 like with a team and be like, you know what? I know what they have. Let me go back and train up and like breed for all these mons that will counter all of the Elite 4 and then take on the Elite 4. I'm like I just don't do it. It is not my cup of tea. But
again,
all due respects for because like the game design and everything looks great.
It looks amazing.
Just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, like the concept is great. Like if you put it in, the concept has been done to death. Like, oh, you're a guy who fights monsters to save the city. There is no story to Monster Hunter. There really isn't. You're like,
and that's my biggest flaw.
Yeah, and normally
like
I had a feeling on that. Story is what drives me to play certain games, like BioShock, great story. Dead Space, great story.
It sounds like a great story too, so because like I now like really want to try those.
Oh, you don't even play it, just watch other people play it. Like you'll get engrossed. It's amazing. The story.
But
is
like
great.
then like when I seen like Monster Hunter, and I tried Monster Hunter with you.
Yeah. I still
put it down after 10 minutes. I couldn't. I didn't care.
I still pop into it every now and then. I'm not gonna deny. I played the spring event recently.
Yeah, but that's why it's on the top 5 because it's one of the franchises that it's absolutely great.
Like I min maxed that.
I die like a maximum of 3 times and just put it down and never touch it again.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on from me because apparently I can rant forever on any.
Oh yeah,
game
you can. You really can.
But your games are more recent. Because like some of them, yeah. But like you also know them better.
Yeah, because I played them for
me like
hours.
My games,
like,
I would know from childhood, literally.
Like, I've put at least 300 hours into every Monster Hunter game that was on the DS, just as much as I put into Pokemon. I can hit 300 hours in Monster Hunter and Pokemon very easily.
I can believe that actually, yeah, because like they both have pretty much like the same premise on the grinding part.
And usually by that point, I have done a lot. I don't shiny hunt, but I do the maxing on Pokemon, and by like hour 400, I have an unstoppable curb stomping team that bitch slaps people across the face, and then insults their mother.
But for me, like the next game that's coming up is one of the games that I legit did not thought was gonna be in my top 5 ever.
I'm a little surprised by it too.
But this is a game that I've honestly spent like over 50 hours in the first week. And it's Breath of the Wild, which to me was like a huge shock because I have played Ocarina of Time. I played like the Wind Waker, and I beat them both. But
I think I
Breath
played
of the
Twilight
Wild.
Princess was the first
I
one
haven't played that, but like this one game caught me like.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild
caught me like.
It's gorgeous.
A breath of like fresh air because it's the first open world like Legend of Zelda, well not including like the Wind Waker, but even the Wind Waker was just
for cartoony. It had a really dark story.
Oh yeah, the horrible dark story, but I absolutely loved that like the game though.
Yeah. It balances itself out.
But like no pun intended, but it was a breath of fresh air because literally it took you into story mode like that.
Yeah, and then not only that, it's like here's the story, but do whatever the fuck you want.
It's like
there's Ganon, you can fight him right now if you want.
And that's what I absolutely loved about the game because literally like I watched speedrunners play this game
off the platform with a stick and a wooden shield.
Wild. No, dude, like they like glide down like they like the new way to do it. They actually like get like one of the monsters. They like they shoot a like ice arrow, jump down, glide down, and right before they land on it, they do like the shield hop.
Yeah.
onto it, and they go bouncing out of nowhere like 100 miles.
Yeah, I rode a bear, and that was ridiculous.
Well,
I loved it.
This game, I spent so many hours playing around. I spent so many hours
exploring,
building,
crafting,
just cooking food. Literally just cooking food. I spent an hour on.
Freaking just like just expanding the map just to see what was out there. Seeing like the live rocks, I believe it was, or
Crocs.
No, like the
Lycan Rock is from Pokemon.
No, the half horse, half beast.
The Lionels.
Yeah, thank you. Like the Lionels, like those were a great a great challenge.
Hard. Did you play?
I tried playing hard mode.
You got curbside.
I'm like, nope, good. I'm good.
You actually have to be good with the mechanics.
Yeah, you have to be really good with mechanics. And they guide you, and they don't hold your hand through the whole thing.
Oh no.
The first hour is literally you being told okay, you can do this. This is how you do this, and this is how you do this. Now figure it out. Try to, because it literally they
it doesn't hold your hand.
Oh, you can grab the clothes to get warm when you're in the cold parts, or you can eat this freaking jalapeno. Okay, well I'm eating the jalapeno for a little bit. Run into the cold, and oh wait, now I'm losing my life because now it's cold, which is great because it teaches you that your decisions make sense. Yeah. And the whole story of it, it indulged me.
Fun fact: I didn't know you could use. I knew you could use magnesis, but I didn't know where the panels were for magnesis to make the bridge.
Yeah.
I climbed around the whole mountain and went to the top.
Yeah.
I literally.
Yeah, you can also do that.
I somehow managed with my little stamina climb to the very top. I literally climbed, not climb.
I think I did that too because I was stupid. I was oh yeah, look, a wall, I can climb it. Why not?
And not only that, I took as much food with me. I had no winter protection, so I was shoving food in my mouth whenever I could to keep from dying.
But even though that game I died so many times, but the story itself, it made me fall in love with every character in there.
Yeah, everyone had motivation.
Everyone that was part of your group, you fell in love. Even that snobby Rivali, Rivali. Well, once one of the characters, a lot of people did not like him. I'm
Prince Side in his bay.
But he's supposed to be
yeah, no, he's supposed to be cocky.
He's supposed to be cocky, and that's what I loved about him. He was supposed to be cocky, and at the end he was okay,
what do you say you would want him to step on you, Perry? You died for him, would you let him step on you?
Probably. But the fact that he literally he acknowledged you as an equal, in the end, and when you
earn his respect.
The game, it was so good that you actually got to see your memories with with Zelda, but even then
then magic makes it better.
But even you even got to see her butt throughout the entire throughout her memory. Come on, there was a whole scene that literally she was bent down. When do you actually get to see Zelda's butt in any other game?
Yeah, no. Though that was the thing, I have not finished the game.
True.
Only because I'm hunting all the Crocs. See, I want to be overpowered when I get to Ganon. And all the memories so I can get the true.
I think it's you don't need to be overpowered at all.
No, you could go with the
as long as you do the 4 things. He's already half dead. I'm just well, this was kind of easy, but the memories are all super cute though.
Yeah, they're adorable.
But every other thing of that game was just the way that they do the way that they do the inventory, where you can lose your sword.
Yeah,
and
breakable.
Your sword breaks, and it makes you responsible for what you grab.
It's not just I'm gonna get this weapon and beat the crap out of you.
Exactly.
You want to save your strongest weapon for your strongest.
Every other game, you only had a sword.
Yep.
And the Master Sword, or the one before that.
So many people hated that too.
But now you get the fact that you
breakable weapons. People were annoyed about. It forces you to think critically. Yeah. And if you're good at the game, you eventually learn where all the weapons spawn. Yeah. Or what enemies carry what weapons. I had one point I had all elemental swords because I knew where to go to get them.
But the bow and arrow, like even your bow's cracked.
Yeah, your bow's eventually.
And like your shield broke.
And not only that,
even when you got like the master sword, it would break.
Out of power.
Like air quotes, but it would just still be in your like inventory, but you would be able to use it.
Yeah.
So like even then, like you technically have an infinite sword, but it will run out of power. Yeah. Which is great about it too.
Or like the point where it would kind of reset with like the blood moon, so you'd have the ability to go back and
so like if you wanted to grind, you just have to wait for like a blood moon. And the game
like the blood moons were a bit random.
No, it's after like every 4 days.
Yeah.
Every 4 or 5 days.
In game time or
in game time? Yeah.
Okay.
But like it like the whole like you got to even ride a skeleton horse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I got the picture.
That was great.
Do.
And if you can ride the Lionel too, somewhat. Yeah, it's in a fight, but you can somewhat lie.
It's in a fight, so it's not really riding it, but like you still technically ride it because it's.
Well, if you sneak up on him, you can jump on his back and somewhat ride him for a little bit before he kicks you off and tries to.
Like you can ride like on a deer.
Yeah, we can ride anything.
That was fun.
Except Mifa.
Although the first time I saw the bear, I didn't know there were bears in the game.
Unfortunately, no, you can't ride on Mifa.
The fuck out and turn the game off.
Yo,
like I freaked out with the
Mifa
bear.
was my favorite guardian. Period. Cause like that literally hurt my heart.
Oh, I know. She made him by the throw armor and everything.
And like literally, I shed a tear when like you got the armor and everything.
A tear.
I was bawling my ass out.
Yeah, you were.
Freaking Mifa was adorable as hell. It was like.
That is true. That is true. You do get to ride on side, and I'd ride side.
See, you just get so much fun.
Mifa's Bay though, over
in that game, and
there's so much.
I've never even beat it, and I'm still having fun in the game.
Exactly. Like
I
want to like replay the game, but like I also don't like replaying story.
It's like I like it because it has two endings. Where the one, if you don't collect all the memories, like you don't remember me.
Yeah, that threw me off like the first time because I just like went like right to the end, like okay, fine, whatever, and then like you don't remember me, and then like. Everyone in the shop like you didn't get all the memories. You need to go. I'm like,
and then like if you get all the memories, you get a slightly different dialogue.
Oh yeah.
How about Mifa and Bianca? How's that?
Mifa 100%. It is the fish waifu that needed to marry Link. Didn't happen.
Brie Larson.
Okay. Scarlett Johansson.
Okay, so for Gen number 2.
Hello.
She's the real America's ass. I've seen the meme, and I know spoilers. So
Call of Booty.
Call of Booty.
Which one specifically?
Black Ops 2.
I didn't ask you.
I never thought I was gonna like these games. Never ever. The first time I ever played it was your brother had the Xbox, and you guys played it on the Xbox.
We didn't play it on the Xbox.
Yeah, you did. We played it on the Xbox, and I couldn't handle the Xbox controller because I've never played on Xbox.
It was so big.
And then we got the PS3 because it had just come out and bought Call of Booty, and you played it. You played zombies with like Juan and everybody, and then after a while, because nobody else would be on during the day, we'd play regular Black Ops. We literally crush like 2 liters of soda, pizza, and just sit there.
So Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Weekend.
No, like Mountain Dew and freaking Pepsi.
An entire weekend we'd spend.
How are you
just
not
grinding.
dead? Yeah, that's coming from me.
Oh no, we used to like mix. Freaking Mountain Dew.
I mean, like, quantity wise, not whatever you're mixing.
Oh, it was like we used to go through 4 liters.
Pretty much between
each?
The 2 of us.
Oh, between the 2 of you?
Yeah, between.
Oh, I thought you're like 2 liters.
That was throughout the weekend.
Oh no, like
2
I used to go to Drew like by
spend,
myself, like when I used to play with Juan.
Yeah, no, I know.
Like back.
No, we would spend the entire weekend. At night they would play zombies, but during the day, me and Steven would sit there and grind up. And like, I wasn't even playing any of the actual like.
And even
game, it was just online fighting people, and I actually got pretty fucking good at it.
Like even like when we went into the multiplayer, we were still doing work.
Good, we started playing that. Yeah. But I'm terrible at hand-eye coordination. But for that game, I was doing really fucking good, and I was proud of myself for that because we played it so much. It's just so fun. It was so much fun to just troll people who were trolling others, and just crushing the people who were actually doing really good. I liked it. It was fun.
Like, it's very surprising for like a lot of people that like you would say this because we actually did spend a whole lot of time just playing this game, and like even like doing like after school, like when we were hanging out, we would still play the game like either on the weekends for like hours on end, and just like I think it was when my cousin lived like like underneath us. Like we used to play with his clan
together.
Like we used to be part of clans
play with
too.
Other people, yeah.
We were
in it. We were in there.
You were in it to win it.
Oh yeah, no, we were in there. We had plans formed. We had fucking
strats.
Mics between the 4 people who were playing it. We were playing it with his mom and his brother. Oh, yeah, we had an entire household put together of a clan that would just go in and demolish people just because
communication is key though.
It was
it really
awesome.
is.
In between games, we'd run up and down the stairs so we communicate between everybody who
didn't
have
a mic. What the hell happened?
And then the game would go to start, so we'd run back up. It was good. We actually spent money on DLCs and guns
I believe that this was the first game we actually ever spent on like DLCs.
Oh yeah, yeah. Was that game because it's so good.
And like we spent
once
like
they started
time.
adding like the flying and stuff, we stopped playing.
Yeah,
which I think was
but I think that
horrible.
that was because so many people like overdid it and just got so into it that they're taking it too seriously.
I like how Medic like stated that, Jen, I don't like being like in like competitive games. Also, Jen, Black Ops 2 is my number 2 game.
No, seriously, it's weird, right?
Competitive
because
as hell.
It's literally all children's games, and then my last 2 favorite games are like
Edgelord.
The weirdest things for me to like.
Yeah.
But this one was after childhood. This one was like end of high school, beginning of
like end of high school
kind of thing. Like I was older, and it was pretty much just me and Steven and like adults playing these games.
Alright, so this is going to kind of like...
You got the speed run?
All 3 of us can talk about this one.
Like this is going to be like the number 1, and this might be like the more of the shock factor for most of us.
Yeah.
As number 1. Again, this is not in any order.
It's not, but this is like the last one.
But I actually wanted to put like the more of the shock factor like at the end. So for number 1... for ESTEBAN.
Well, not in particular, but the last one I'm going to mention.
Yeah.
Honestly, Destiny. I know it's a dumpster fire, train wreck, or whatever you want to say. The development, the implication.
What? Really? It's a horrible... What? It's
but,
bad game. Yeah. Plot holes? What?
Well, there's no real plot holes. It's just a lack of plot.
Well,
sometimes.
It was a very lack of plot.
I didn't think it was meant to have a plot.
It kind of. Well, okay. All its problems aside, at its base, it's from the guys who created Halo. The game was meant to be played solidly.
I'm very surprised that I like this game.
Sense.
So the shooting felt great. The
shooting was fantastic.
Dude, but what made me pick this game in my top 5 is the amount of memories I have playing it. Me and him running raids with JOHANNY.
Honestly, if you didn't like put this in your top 5, it was gonna be.
We actually one of the first videos we have is us running the raid.
Yeah.
Like, Honey got mad at us because Chris kept fucking up and we couldn't figure it out.
He kept yelling at you guys. That was a
and like the whole thing. Alright, so for a raid, you need like
6 players.
Like 6 players to do.
Think about like League of Legends, World of Warcraft, where you get a bunch of people to fight one boss. That's what a raid was. Destiny raids are something you need to experience. I cannot say it.
Like we don't like the Strike 3 forces. It's only like 3
or,
people.
Yeah, at least watch people run a raid.
Because I would sit there and watch you guys for like 6 hours.
And like legit, like one raid took us, and we never finished it because we couldn't like find like the people to join us to actually play it.
People kept bouncing in and out.
But like it was just like hilarious because like no one would follow the simple directions, or someone would mess up the entire thing, and we would have to like restart the whole like raid over.
Yeah, the encounters were rough. But yeah, like just yesterday, for Destiny 2, they dropped a secret quest for their 3D exotic for the season. It was Outbreak Prime. They call it Outbreak Perfected. It's from Destiny 1. It starts with you finding a random node, and then you got to find 6 other nodes to unlock it. And then from there, you have to go to the original social space called the farm, where you have to find a basement where there's an old boss that you allegedly let live or die. You get to choose, but canonically you let him live. And you start a 20-minute strike, basically.
Wow.
and you have to get to. There is platforming, puzzle solving, and you have to fight the boss, and you have 20 minutes to do it.
Oh wow!
And there's a triumph where you do it in 15. There's a glitch to get infinite time. We did it for the triumph, but I spent all of Tuesday night until Wednesday, learning it and then helping other people get it.
And like the fun thing is like literally in this game, like the main lobby, there's like we spend hours being idiots.
Oh yeah.
Where we legit
like
there's like a way to make it to like the top, like it's kind of like what's it called, like when a piece of cloth like hangs over. I don't know what that exactly.
The canopy.
Yeah, the canopy.
Oh wait, I gotta go. I'll be right back.
They
can describe this a bit better.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, guys. I live at home, so yeah, things are. See you, Mom.
Well, like legit, like we will have to find a way to get to that canopy, and there's only a way to like saying that we have to like precisely jump at a specific corner, and like for a person that like doesn't play like as much as like JOHANNY or like ESTEBAN, and me being like the person to figure out to get to the canopy first.
Oh yeah, D1.
And like everyone would and like them two was like, how the hell did you get out there? I'm like, lucky, cause like
he somehow got there. Me and JOHANNY can never get
like
there.
You have to hop into like 3 different boxes into like a very thin pole. So like when you run through the pole, you glitch out. And like you land on the canopy.
Not only that, you have like 3 seconds to get there because you're technically in an out of bounds area.
Yeah, so like it was just made it super hard. 100%. It was a hard thing to do,
but it was also fun. And
but it was fun because like you had to take turns doing it because like if you don't, like you'll bump into each other. So like we would like race to see who would get like up there first.
Or we would mess each other up.
Exactly.
And this would be hours.
And this would be hours of us just messing around,
dancing in front of each other,
teabagging,
trying to see who could push the other who wasn't in the room.
Oh my god!
Off of the platforms.
Yeah, if they're like, oh hey, I gotta leave real quick, and then, or like, oh they're in their inventory.
You would push them just as far close to the end, just so they would walk off when they got back on.
Yeah.
They would dance in front of each other. They would shoot each other.
The purple ball.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And that was just hours of that first.
Not even playing. We were just
they weren't
goofing
even
off.
in the game yet. They were just sitting there.
We were in the social hub, whacking off basically.
Pretty much.
And pretty much. And just like pretty much.
Racing.
It's like
you guys would race back and forth to different.
Oh
places.
yeah, there was the racing one too.
Yeah, Sparrow Racing League as well. There was so much to do in that game. It's honestly in my top 5 because of just the amount of memories and tomfoolery that happened, even in the new one, Destiny 2. Like I said, I spent hours learning the event, and then I carried 3 different groups of people because I learned it that well. And then it was just a challenge getting enough DPS and teaching other people. And then on the 3rd one, I'm like, oh, hey guys, I haven't gotten the Whisper of the Worm. If you guys can help me get this other exotic weapon. Yeah. And they're like, oh, I don't know, I want to get off. I'm like, well, you said you want to play around with the weapon, so if the public event happens to pop up and we manage to get it done, we'll do it. So we go to the planet where the event is, and it just happened to be starting up in like 2 minutes. So we got there just in time.
So they're just right there.
So we got to, play around with the gun, and it melts. It's a laser beam. It's a laser beam, and we ran the Whisper of the Worm mission. It's a 20-minute, it's a timed mission as well. We did it with like 2 or 3 minutes to spare. And they're like, wow, this is ridiculous. We never finished with this much time left. It's usually you cut it close with the last minute. We had like 2 or 3 minutes of time left because we melted all the bosses. And we were also coordinated. Like, oh, I'm going to tether this. You guys aim over there. I'm going to melt them with this weapon. I'm going to do this. The coordination, the communication. Or actually, I might be running a raid with the group of people that I helped out all day yesterday and the day before. Either Friday night or Saturday night.
See, and also, like the community,
the social aspect.
It's actually pretty well because like then like you can help like each other out, like when it comes to strikes or raids or like anything like that. I'm not very like, I don't like to talk to other people because in that game, I was still like a noobish kind of, and like they were helping me out, and I just didn't really care for like trying to talk to other people when I didn't have to.
Like, it gets frustrating failing to do something a million times, But at the same time, when you find someone willing to teach you until you learn it, that's like, all right, well, this is it. Not to say there's no toxicity in the Destiny community. There's toxicity in all communities. But generally, like, the heads of the community, like, the Discord I'm on is for Acicross. Yeah. His community's like, look, if you want to comment about something, make your comments. Just don't be rude about it. Just be polite and civil. You can say what you want. You can say a gun is trash and say it's trash, but be civil about it. Don't argue with each other. It's just, there's no time or space for that. Yeah. And if you're going to help someone out, help them out. You know, don't just, I'll help you because... No, like, people are willing to... They're like, even the guys I was helping, like, the fact that you're willing to run this 3 or 4 times. And I was to time, too. So it was 20 minutes. So I spent an hour, basically, doing one thing. Yeah, like, this community is really great. I'm like, yeah, like, once you find the right community to hang out with, you're going to have a lot of fun.
And it's a difficult game.
It is. It's not like...
Oh, no, it is hard. Like, it does get hard, like, after a while.
Yeah. Alright, well, let's start speeding things up. It's like 11 something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right,
okay,
so,
wait, Magic, what do you think is Steven's number 1? Well, number 1 out of the 5.
Which, like...
Let's see what time this message is at.
Oh my god, no, not Splatoon, never Splatoon.
No.
Splatoon was fun. It had its novelty, but I can't play it forever.
So...
Yours actually surprised me.
One of my top 5 games, which a lot of people are gonna be like, really? What the heck? You're dumb. Would definitely have to be Need for Speed Most Wanted. One of the games I spend endless hours just driving around and just trying to get like the cops after me. I have so many memories of like nearly getting caught by the cops and literally like escaping at the very last second.
It's such a good game.
It used to get me so much like so many nerves that like after the 5-star chase, my hands would be shaking because I would get like being caught so often.
Yeah.
Like there was literally a time where I had literally had my 2 right side tires pop because of spikes and still managed like to not get caught. I'm like, how the hell did I do this? I have no idea. It's and like in this game, it's not like every other racing game was like all you do is race. You
there's like missions and stuff.
Well, like the whole premise of the game is that you have to get your car back because you pretty much got robbed. Like
you have a need for speed.
That too, but like you got you technically lost your car and you want to get it back because
the only way to get it back,
you like in jail. So like when you got out of jail, you have to go through.
You gotta win it back.
Like the blacklist. So like you have to go up in rankings to race like the big honcho, and like you can take like
you win your car back.
Like you can win like all different cars back, but like you only get like a 1 out of 3 chance of getting your car back. And like every time to when you get to the very end.
So like you would probably run races multiple times to get an item that was out of your reach?
No, because like you can only do that race once. And it's a 2 out of 3 chance of getting your car back since whenever you face like the person on the blacklist, one would be their car, the other would be prize money, and the third one would be.
But would you do other optional races to try to better your chances?
No, like there's no other way to like get it.
I never played Need for Speed. I know nothing of this game. I know nothing, Jones.
Like. Every time that you go like up against because like you have to do like their mini missions, like you have to be like at a certain level to be able to race them. So like you have to do like the mission, you have to get your reputation like with the cops or like the bounty on you like high enough like for them to want to race you. And then you get a 1/3 chance of like getting your car, but like you get to pick twice. So you get like the 2 options. If you don't get the car, then you never get their car. So like near the end, I made like the car that I that I started with kind of matched the look of the card that was robbed from me. So like when I beat him, I kind of beat them with the same looking car, but then I still get like my car back. So like I would grind like as much as I can in that game.
But I thought you said you hated grind. I was just trying to set you up for that. You just said I would grind out.
See, in that game though, it doesn't feel like grinding because you're still just running around and just trying to evade the cops. And I mean, no matter what, if you have a bad enough reputation and the cops notice you, they'll notice you easier the worse your reputation is, and then it's more difficult and it's the harder that they'll try to find you. And honestly, I never actually played the
but like
game.
you can actually like bring your like by changing like the color like of your car, like it'll bring like they know it's like they know you have a Honda Civic, but like if they're looking for the same tires, the same color, like
if they're
the same
looking
design,
for like a green Honda Civic, they're gonna look for you. But
I feel targeted with that last line.
But like if you're running from the cops and you're far enough away and there's like a body shop somewhere near you, you can just hop in the body shop and change the color of your car.
Thing.
And you're just driving real careful. They could drive right by you, and there's like a timer of how long it takes for them to not see you.
But because like you also win like other people's cars, you can actually just like go to like your safe house, like swap cars. And wait until like your like other car gets like the cooldown on it, so like it's no longer that wanted.
Yep.
And he's like, okay, let me just drive around like in this Mustang. They don't know this me.
Hello, Jen.
Yes.
What is Jen's number one? Guys, give us a guess.
It's not really a number one.
Drum roll, please.
In the top 5.
It's not really a kids game, but it is.
It is a fun game.
It's a very fun game.
It's a lot of fun. Assassin's Creed.
It's Assassin's Creed.
I've never played Assassin's Creed ever.
He was a skater boy. She says see you later, boy. That's all I remember of this song.
My mom loved
pretty much
the Tony Hawk games. Loved them. And until she got brain surgery when I was in like 6th. Yeah, she got brain surgery when I was in like 6th grade. And because of the brain surgery, she can't really like watch anything like with the screen like flipping or moving. So she can't play video games or she'll get a seizure. So like when she stopped being able to play these was kind of like when we started playing them. I know it sounds.
No, just the pre-magic comment.
But it isn't Pro Skater. No, Pro Skater 2 is good.
We never plugged it in, did we?
No.
That's right.
Pro Skater 2 is good, but I really liked Underground because you go to so many different places. You go to all like the different capitals of the countries. You go to Berlin. You go to Boston. You end up in New Orleans.
Boston.
Like, and it's pretty much Tony Hawk and Bam, which was another really
Bam
popular.
Margera.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like you get your own 2 teams, and your teams, it's kind of like already a preset thing, so like Tony Hawk wins no matter what, but it's like a win or lose type of thing, and you have to do these situations in each of those different like areas that
I don't know that game, but I want to check it out now.
In each of the areas that you end up, you have to like whoever can do like
the sickest tricks.
Pretty much the sickest tricks, the biggest stunt is like the winner, and you'll get the point for that. And then at the end, whoever lost would have to like pay the expenses for everything. But it's just the fact of you can still just skate around, and you don't really have to do the main things. You just literally skate around and fuck around on your skateboard until you're done and you beat all the little mini things. And it's the nostalgia of it. It's the fact that me and my siblings used to play it all the time. We used to watch my mom play it all the time. She owned literally every single one of them, and it was just fun. I played like
it was a very fun game.
I played all of them, every single one of them. That one was just my favorite because it's the one that stuck with me. The first one, Pro Skater, stuck with me, because that was like obviously the first one I played. But this one really stuck with me. It was just a lot of fun. We would take turns playing it always because there's 3 kids, so you would have to share. but it was so fun.
Sharing is caring. Friendship is magic.
All right, so since we have just extended like this whole podcast super quick, like super long, and I didn't expect the like to be this long.
I thought it was gonna be
quick
short.
recap.
Well, then again, I soaked up a third of it.
Yeah, you did with super explanation time. But oh my god, friendship is me. So quick recap.
You want a hug,
of
bro?
your top
You want to
5.
hug this out?
Quick recap of your top 5, Esteban.
Destiny, BioShock, Dead Space, Pokemon, and Monster Hunter.
But mine was Pokemon. What are you talking about? Get the hell out of here. You don't know what's going on anymore.
It's Metroid.
It's Metroid. Like
It's
my
me.
top 5
Simon,
is like Need for Speed Like Most Wanted, like the Legend of Zelda, the Breath of the Wild, like Pokemon Dragon Guard 2, and
Pokemon Dragon Guard?
Zelda.
and Kingdom Hearts.
Oh.
And your top 5 real quick.
Ape Escape,
Top 5.
Tony Hawk.
Oh, do you have the text
Oh.
already
Black Ops
listing my
2,
games?
Sly
What?
Cooper.
Because my phone cuts
and
stuff after.
What was the
Shadow.
other one? I had one more.
Yeah, Tony Hawk, Sly Cooper, Ratchet
Call
and
of Duty.
Clank.
Ratchet and Clank, yeah,
Call of
those.
Duty.
Screenshot that.
Child.
Well, my list so we can show people that originally I had like 10 games,
Yeah.
and
yeah, he
that was
can't
from a
decide.
pool of like 20 games that
We
I had to go through.
like force him.
I told him, do me a favor, get a D20, assign each game 2 numbers, and roll it. Whatever you get is what we're rolling with.
Escape, pretty much. Okay,
Ape
so
Escape.
because we're like going like a little bit longer in time, we're still gonna do like the KOKT
T-cast, yeah.
cast.
We'll be on
hashtag.
Twitter for the next hour or so.
So for right now, we're actually going to shout out the Rainbow Hero
Perry.
naming their top 5. Number 5.
Fancy.
Spyro the Dragon.
This is fancy.
Cat.
Number 4.
Splatoon.
Number 3. Kirby Return to Dreamland.
Oh, I thought that was good. I can do that.
Number 2.
You gotta go fast.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, Sonic Heroes. Sonic Heroes is amazing, by the way.
Which one was it? Was it the one with the Chow Garden? Sonic Heroes 2? Sonic Adventures?
That is the Sonic Adventures Battle 2.
And Pokemon
Amazing.
Y as the number
Y.
1 for our Rainbow Hero. He also,
also in
listed
this-
Madagascar, Chicken Little, and G-Force.
Which the Chicken Little game I used to play so freaking much.
Nope.
Was so good.
We also have another list that he deleted, which was
Which is
Mario,
oh.
Thousand Year Door, and yeah, that was it. So we're throwing that in there.
But
But
the
yeah.
Madagascar game for the PlayStation, fire.
You want to let in?
So-
Fire.
You want to
Good.
let in our special guests real quick because we're about to end it. They
And
just-
like as we ended short, let's let them in.
our
Who
special
wants
guest,
to see a pupper? Raise your hands if you want to see a pupper.
Levy. Come here, Papa.
Don't lift him this time.
He is getting lifted.
Oh God.
Ah, come on. Come on.
Such a big booth.
Look at him.
Such a big booth.
Hey, Papa.
There's a very angry cylinder.
That's Levy. Come here, Cylinder.
Oh God.
Oh
it's
my
gonna eat
god.
And there's
The
Daisy.
dog.
me.
Ah,
It'll
face.
eat me. It's gonna eat me.
On that, we're going to wrap up this one.
Don't trust the cylinder.
So thank you so much everyone for like hanging out today for like for the podcast. If you are doing it, if you are listening to this over
Oh my
on
God.
YouTube,
Hello.
since right now it's just become like chaotic, make sure to hit the like button down below. We know that this has gone like a little further. In the next 2 weeks, we're going to do another podcast, which we will pick like the topic for next time. And
You
we're gonna
pick
get
the
the
topic for next time.
No, we're gonna pick
Oh,
the
we're
next one.
picking it?
Yes, we're going to like try to like brainstorm for the next one.
I have lists.
So on that, we bid you all adieu, and thank you so much for hanging out with us.
We can revise that episode because that was one of our top picks already.
Yeah, I'm sorry on one of our picks, but on that, have yourself a great day, guys.
Talk to us on Twitter.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Okay, thanks, bye.